Looking for a game to play this Halloween? This could be the one. Let's find out some more about it. Hello and welcome to the Battle and Barrow and another Halloween month video. This one we are going to be looking at A Touch of Evil. This is a game where players face fiendish creatures in a world very reminiscent of old Hammer horror films, and I love old Hammer horror films. It was first released in 2008 by Flying Frog Productions and was designed by Jason C. Hill. It's a game for 2 to 8 players, although general consensus is that around 4 players works best. It should take between an hour and 2 hours to play through a game. Each player will take the role of a monster hunting hero, and then it's a race against time to stop the monstrous villain from infesting the town of Shadowbrook with darkness. Ooh. Players will need to move around the town, investigate it and build up their strength before finding the lair of the villain and defeating it in a final showdown. The game can either be played competitively, in which players race to be the first to defeat the villain and save the town, or they can work cooperatively and work together to fight a stronger villain. Let's have a look at what's inside the box. And this is what the box looks like. If you've ever watched a Hammer horror film, you can tell what they're trying to go for here with this. It's not artwork, it's photography. It's full colour throughout. Bit of art there. But it's going to be mainly photos and sets, and it just adds to the charm of this game. That's what we got inside. Inside the lid is just empty. That's a minion ship. We'll get back to that in a minute. We have this. This is the board. So this will unfold. Like so. A nice, easy, manageable board size. It is lovely. Again, invoking that Hammer horror, or if you like, especially the windmill, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, which to me was inspired by Hammer horror films anyway. But this is your map. So it's the map of Shadowbrook. You have 4 corner pieces here. That are major locations. The village in the middle. And then just various other locations here and there. It's a very atmospheric map. I love that. We have the rulebook, which is full colour, glossy paper, real high quality rulebook. Love this, just showing you all the breakdown of components, and it just explains how it's played. Which is, I won't go into in this video because there's a Let's Play on the channel. I'm just going through what is in here. Again, I actually really enjoy this aesthetic of the pictures. We have minion cards, so no game it will ever be the same because you're going to be facing off against different minions. What do we have? Different villains, shall we say? And these are their minion charts, their monster charts. So you fight a werewolf. And if you're fighting a werewolf, you're going to come across rats' nests, feral king, and werewolves themselves. You can fight vampires, in which case you'll be fighting bats, wolves, and walking dead, and succubuses. What you'll see here is they're two-sided. So you have this basic game, which is a simplified version of the rules, and then you have the advanced game. So again, not only do you have multiple villains and monsters, but multiple sort of levels of difficulty with it. So Scarecrow, if you're going to be fighting the Scarecrow villain, you'll find be against winds, harvest winds, locust swarm, and a murder of crows, and some other special events. And the Spectral Horseman, again referring to Sleepy Hollow, which will be fighting Bargeists, Ghost Soldiers, and some special events. We have this. This is a track for countdown. When it gets to 1, it's pretty much all over. It's two-sided again. This is for the sort of standard game, if you like, and this is for the co-op version of the game. What should we look at next? Let's have a look at these cards here. So I'm guessing these are, let's have a go through. Player cards, I can imagine. Hero cards, okay. Let me get them in some sort of semblance of order, shall we? So yeah, hero cards, these are real thick cardstock, love these, real high quality stuff. These are all the heroes you can be. So let's have a look at them, let's flip them over. There's quite a few heroes that you can be in the base game, which is great. So we have Anne-Marie, the school teacher. They each have different abilities: spirit, cunning and combat, different wound levels, and then they have equipment and special skills. We have a Thomas the courier. So he's not as cunning as the school teacher, but he's got better combat. He is a lovely chappie. Victor Danforth, the playwright. Carl the soldier. Inspector Cook. Katerina the outlaw. Isabella von Tuck, noblewoman. And Heinrich Cartwright, the drifter. Next we have the villain cards, again the same thick cardstock, and so as we've seen the minion cards already, we kind of know what to expect. We have the Scarecrow, the Werewolf, the Spectral Horseman, and the Vampire. It has their sort of special rules and advanced abilities on here as well. So I'm not just trying to. It's probably not in any great order, these cards. I can bash them out of it. So we have these, which are like what you can do on your turn: move, fight enemies, take actions such as heal a wound, fire their car, and the game round in overall the game round. So it's first hero's turn, and then the mystery phase. The secret. So let's see if I'm doing this in any sort of correct semblance of order. No, I'm not. So what I want is probably these. That's it. Yes. So what we have here on these cards here, these are the town elders in the game, and they can effectively help you out, or they can be nasty. So these are double-sided, so that's the nasty side, and that's the good side. So these will help you out in combat, and if they turn out to be traitors, they'll help the villain out. So we have Lady Hambrook, Dr. Manning, Magistrate Croft, Lord Hambrook, I guess they're Lord and Lady, Sophie the midwife, and Reverend Harding. During the game, at the start, you would shuffle the secret card, and you'd give, say, a town elder a secret, and if you discover what that secret is, you reveal the secret. So this would say the elder either is the villain or in direct control of the villain, so it's the real villain. So in this case, Lord Hambrook is in control of the vampire and using it for his own nefarious deeds. If revealed, the town elder immediately flips to become evil and joins the villain. So you turn that over, so he then becomes Lord Hanbrook. He becomes the Lord of Madness, and we should have a look on the flip side of all of them in a minute. Do not discard this secret. The villain gains an extra 2 wounds, and the evil elder may not be targeted in a fight. So there's all manner of different secrets here that again mix up every game you're going to play of this. No game will ever be the same as those. Before we move on, let's have a look at the flip side. So we know he is the Lord of Mischief. Lady Hanbrook would become the Lady of Darkness. Mischief, did I say? Madness. Dr. Manning becomes the good Doctor. Magistrate Croft, the Executioner, means he's going to go on a Sophie the Midwife, Sophie the Vixen, oh dear. Reverend Hardin becomes Grand Inquisitor. So just by that you can sort of almost imagine being able to come up with story beats for your game already. It's a very narrative game where each game tells its own story. Town items. So these are things that you can buy. Come on camera, you can do it. Again, all with this fantastic photo art. So it's things like pistols, charm relics, torches, horsey horse, 2 different types of horsey horse, muskets, book of lore, silver shot, healing herbs, runic amulet, padded jacket, book of town history, book of science, more healing herbs, and another pistol. So yeah, let's have a look at so we saw that each player has a turn, and then we have a mystery phase, and this means revealing one of these cards. And so they brought this evil, so you reveal this. Every hero in a named space must immediately roll a number of dice equal to their honour. For every 5 or 6 rolls you gain 1 investigation. These are tokens that you would, these things here, might as well look at those now, that you gain to use. It's like a currency for the game. For every 1 or 2 rolled they take 1 wound. Do we have any wound tokens? So we can look at these now. These are wound tokens. You get big ones and little ones. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. That's what this circle is here. This big token you can use as the current player, first player as it were. And these are militia tokens. Just going to sidetrack so I can get rid of this token bag as well. These are militia tokens that militia can help you out in combat. As you can see here, it would add 1 to your combat. So you're basically gaining a bit of a town posse like you'd see in those gothic type horror films. So again, there is Tide of Darkness. I don't want to give too much away of these. I'm not going to read everyone out because these are going to be a good surprise for you. But again, just look at this wicked art. So most of these are going to be bad for you and just add to the fun of the game. I wouldn't mind actually replaying this on the channel actually at one time. Should have got it maybe organised before Halloween. So it's been a couple of years since I played it, and I didn't really enjoy the setup of the recording back then. So I set the room up wrong. I think I can do a much better job now of getting a good playthrough done of this. Maybe for next Halloween. That's like a year away. Is that too long? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you'd like to see a playthrough or redone playthrough, let me know. I can see what I can arrange. So these are going to be sorry, that one's out. Don't want those just yet. These are going to be the corner cards and event cards. So I'll put those up there. That's what I'm looking for. I've put them away already, haven't I? They're up here. So these cards here are going to be 4 sets of corner cards from the main corners of the board we looked at earlier. So we have a set for the manor, the abandoned keep, the windmill, and the old woods. We also have this set here, which are event cards. These are things where you land on squares, pick an event card, Jewel of Honor, and what we have in here are militia, play immediately. That's where you get the militia token. Reassurance speech. These are going to be somewhat, pretty much almost good things, really. Give any hero or town elder +2 spirit. There can be bad things, or play to prevent one source for training. Yeah, so there's these different things happen. These are going to be pretty interesting things for you. Again, each one's mixing up the game narrative. I'll quickly go through these. There's a lot of cards in this game, but all presented in this lovely style. But even though it's quite adult, it's not gory, not too adult, so it's still fairly family friendly, even if it is, you know, it's probably an intermediate game between childish, colourful cartoon board games to more adult fare. But anyway, so these 4 groups here are sort of, you go to the corner pieces if the combat might be more difficult there and things, but sometimes the rewards are much better. So, you know, we have Angry Tree, so yeah, you might get attacked a lot, but you might get a cool thing like an axe, Smuggler's Camp. You know, you're going to be fighting things, but you're going to get good rewards from it as well. So that's what all these are. So Charm. Once per game round or once per shadow round fight, you may force any single die to be re-rolled. That's useful, you know. So things like that. Garlic. It's good for a fighting vampires. Franklin, Old Hound. It's going to have 2 wounds. It's going to have 2 help you out in combat. A quick look at the mana. So Saber's going to be a great item. +1 combat, +1 honor. But whilst the rewards are good, you can get the downside is you can. There's some bad things in here. So it's do you risk having the bad to get the good? It's that. It gives you a bit of gives you some options. So I'm going to try and go through these as quick as possible. I overtly want this video to go on too long. I think this looking at it's gone on for 15 minutes. Okay, so attacked. But hopefully you get the impression that I really like the presentation in this game. I think it plays alright as well. Kind of reminds me a bit like Talisman in places. It's a roll and move game, but it does allow for if you roll ones and things. So these are werewolf heroes. I believe these are. I've never played the werewolf game, I have to admit, so I believe you can get turned into a werewolf. So that's what these are for. Just marking this card at the start of each time. Yeah, so during your hero turn, you act as normal. Yeah, so this is if you face off against a werewolf, you can be turned into a werewolf. Yep, so more of those cards. These are the lair cards. So again, just to reiterate the fact this game is almost limitless in options. Each time you play it, the villain will be in a different location, and that's what these represent. So he could be in the fields, in the town hall, the old woods, marsh, covered bridge. You know, you get the impression. And he could move as well. Crossroads, covered bridge, windmill. So, and that's what these represent. We now have more tokens. These are for monsters. You don't get miniatures for the monsters as such, so you'd have assassin and a double-sided and living tree. So if there's a living tree monster, you put this on the board to represent that. You could of course it's a bat. You could of course use miniatures. I have a ton of miniatures, so if there was a bat attack, I would put a bat attack monster miniature down and same Balgeist. But I am a wargamer and RPG, so of course I would have loads of miniatures. Various different tokens that are used throughout the game. These are like buffs for your spirit and your runes and your combat. These are transformation tokens for the werewolf cards. Other item sort of tokens. These are different character tokens. Dice are quite basic but functional, and you need a load of them. Villain tokens, same artwork as before. More tokens. These are crow tokens and monster tokens and what have you. +1s and -1s to your combat tokens, and the miniatures themselves. So I've obviously painted mine. They come in pure grey. So that would be the Drifter. I forget who she is. Katrina? Is that Katrina? Focus in. Brilliant. We have her. So we have all the miniatures here. Let's see if I can just get them all up. They're of a fairly decent standard. They're not awesomely good or anything. But a fairly competent standard. For a board game, they are going to be okay. Probably helps if you can paint them better than me. But they are okay. They are perfectly serviceable and do the part on the board game, on the board itself. But that's what is in the box. Now I guess we better talk about expansions for it, because this could be expanded. The first expansion was called Something Wicked, released in September 2009. The set included 4 new heroes and a new game board featuring Echo Lake location. There were also 130 new cards and 4 new villains to hunt. The Coast was another boxed expansion released in September 2012 and included 4 new heroes and another game board, this time the Fog Shrouded Coastline. This set added 3 new Town Elders as well as another 4 villains. There was also 2 hero packs released for the game, which included new heroes to use in the game as well as new villains to fight. But where can we get this game? The main game seems to be out of print in the UK at the moment, which is a shame. And I've seen copies go for around 200 quid, which is way expensive. That's on the second-hand market. Although, as I said, this seems to be well overpriced for the game, even though it is a good game. Most of the expansions at the time of me writing and recording this seem to be available though, so... But that's it for this video. Let me know if you've played this game, if you're interested in this game. Until the next video guys, stay safe, take care.